Welcome back, everyone, to the Six Hockey Studios. Jordan Jacklin joined alongside Jaden Ho as we tee up Game 2 of this second-round playoff series between the Toronto Junior Canadiens and the Mississauga Senators. Quite a crazy game, Jaden, ending in overtime with the Sens winning it.
Well, it was an absolutely wild game in the first matchup in the second round series. The Junior Canadiens taking that 2-0 lead, but the Senators came storming back. They refused to quit. Sean Costello evened up the game before the Sens managed to get that 3-2 win in overtime, and it was the penalty trouble that ultimately cost the Junior Canadiens in that game. In the GTHL playoffs, you can't afford to be taking careless penalties in the third period when you're protecting a lead, and the Senators took full advantage to come back and tie that game up and ultimately get the win in overtime. Now they have control of the series going into Game 2.
What did you think about goalie Jack Ivankovich in terms of his ability just to stay in the game and really showcase his stardom and not letting it be 3-0, 4-0, and really letting them get back into it?
Well, yeah, Jack Ivankovich was a big reason the Mississauga Senators were able to stay in that game. The Junior Canadiens started really well. They had all the momentum through about the first half of the game, but it was Ivankovich hanging in there, making the important saves, and keeping that a 2-goal lead so that the Senators could ultimately come back in that game.
Well, this will be a fascinating story to watch. The Toronto Junior Canadiens, when they tend to lose games, always tend to win the next one. So we'll see if that's the case here in the postseason after they drop their first one after sweeping in round 1. They lose game 1 here in round 2. Now how will they respond is the real question. From the Six Hockey Studios, we'll send you to the ice.
Welcome to Scotiabank Pond as we are set for Game 2 between the Toronto Junior Canadiens and the Mississauga Senators, and we're away as it's won back by Mississauga to their own zone. Sent up along the near side boards, and Toronto recovers. Sent back by Valaris. Up the wing they come. Flipped ahead bounced over the stick there, Jake O'Brien. And now, the Senators will start the counterattack early in this period. Stepping in, nice move, and a good defensive effort there. As the Senators get the first chance of the scene. Now stepping out in front with a shot. And a great chance there as Sean Costello gets turned aside.
Yes, the Sens won in comeback fashion just a few days ago, and they started off with an early attack here. As it was goaltender Alex O'Mellan making his series debut, really coming out aggressively. He has to get back, square up to the post, and he makes a big stop on Sean Costello.
Valentini taking the draw for Mississauga. He's tied up, and the Junior Canadiens win it back, and they'll clear the zone quickly here. Left ahead, and with it now is Moreno. He lost the puck, and Junior Canadiens are forced back. Flipped off to the corner now, and it's ahead for Moreno, but he lost control. Back with it now. Flipped ahead here, and Junior Canadiens try and get things started once again. It's sent ahead for Moreno. On to the attack. Romano. Now Moreno. Here comes Moreno. He shoots! That's turned aside. A good early stop from Jack Ivankovich. Battle ensues down in the corner. They try to dig this puck free. And now comes to the line. Walking the line. A long shot! And that one deflects up and away. Harrison McLean steps in to pinch. But the Senators will clear the zone now.
We see an early line change on both sides, and we've now seen some point shots on both these teams as well. They really have high volume shooters from the back end.
Puck comes loose at center. Flipped ahead past Ambrosio. Now down low. Ambrosio, the call-up from the U15 Junior Canadiens. Playing in this U16 game. There's a long shot that didn't get through all the traffic. Now it's flipped up towards the line, intercepted. Senators regain possession. Nice move trying to cut through Junior Canadiens' defense. It doesn't work. Now loose puck right in front of the goal, and Alex O'Mellan had to be sharp there. Hangs onto that puck.
And Alex O'Mellan, certainly a goaltender that can come out aggressive out of his crease, will make sure that he can body down pucks and not let any squeak by him. As the Junior Canadiens really look to find their game again. They dominated at 5-on-5 in Game 1 for about 80% of the game until they let it go, so they just got to find their footing once again. And the Senators just looking to keep up what they started to build.
Puck loose there. Broussard digging for it. But it comes free. And penalty coming up here, and I think it's going to be, I believe it's going to be against Mississauga, as we see Ethan Broussard heading off to the box. So the Junior Canadiens will get their first power play of this game as they look to take the early lead.
And we saw penalties cause them trouble in Game 1 for the Sens in terms of their undisciplined action. So let's see if once again the Junior Canadiens can start off strong on the main advantage and really dictate the pace of play.
But when I said Yanni on the draw, it was like right about here. Yanni's going to have to wait to take the face off as the Senator was waved out of the draw, and now the Junior Canadiens will commence their first power play, and the puck is won all the way back into the Toronto zone, and Graziano's going to have to chase back after it. He picks it up in the corner under pressure there from Costello, but he'll drop it off, and Evan Malkassian picks it up. Ahead on the right wing, Toronto trying to get their power play onto the rush. Here comes Luca Romano. He turns hard in the corner, sends it up to the point for Graziano now. Off to the side, Jake O'Brien throws that back in front. Comes down to the corner. Down low, and now here's Romano again. Romano up top, Graziano sends the return pass. Now across for Jake O'Brien. O'Brien shoots! Rebound right in front of the goal, and comes right down to the corner again. Graziano holds the line. Sends it across. Here's Jake O'Brien. O'Brien trying to send that one into the middle. Turning with it here. Romano. Down into the corner. Outside Malkassian. Malkassian trying to get that one up top, but it's poked off his stick, and this will be cleared down the ice by the Senators. We're halfway through this power play. Junior Canadiens starting a chain. Morano and Martel stepping onto the ice. Back with it. The Senators putting pressure on the power play here in their own zone, and now in comes Toronto, cutting into the middle. A loose puck comes free now at the side of the goal. Loose in the slot. Martel shoots, scores! Hector Martel has opened the scoring for Toronto.
And it's Hector Martel getting himself in the right place at the right time. This has a forehand shot that goes blocker side on goaltender Jack Ivankovic, and he's able to beat him cleanly with traffic in front of him. And ultimately, it's 1-0 now, less than 4 minutes into the opening period of Game 2.
So a hot start here for Toronto, and we'll see if Mississauga can respond. They've won the face-off back towards their own end, and now it's flipped up the wing, and it'll trickle all the way down. Armstrong back for it. Sends it up the boards. Loose puck here as Toronto tries to press their advantage after that opening goal. Flipped in deep there, and it'll be tipped aside by Ivankovic. Puck along the boards, and now it chances the Senators get it up the ice. It's carried through the neutral zone, flipped forward as that was knocked off the stick of Manza. Broussard in on the forecheck. Now into the corner it goes, trying to dig this free along the end boards. Starting up with it, the Junior Canadiens. Send it ahead onto the far side, but offside will be called to the line, so we'll get a whistle and a face-off just outside the Mississauga zone.
And for the Sens, they may be down 1-0, but one aspect of their game that I have appreciated later towards the end of Game 1 and the start of Game 2 here is their ability to disrupt zone entries, and in terms of the ratio of carry-ins. So they've been able to really disrupt it, have tight gap control from the defenders, but now it's just about getting the puck in their possession and trying to make more plays with it, and in this case, trying to equalize the game.
Long flip pass out to center, that evaded Yanni, and Ivankovic will play it off to his defender, but now Yanni has it in behind the goal. Yanni sends it up to the line. Here's McLean. McLean shoots, and that one was turned aside. Might have been a body in front of the goal. So now the Senators will slow things down and flip it ahead. Here's Broussard. Ethan Broussard sends that down the ice all the way down, and icing called as Michael Levine goes back for it.
And the Junior Canadiens had this strength as well in game 1 in terms of just forcing the Sens to ice the puck. So they were able to generate a lot of offensive zone faceoffs. As they have Romano out there taking the draw with Evan Malcassi, one of their secondary scoring threats, but can produce a lot, and we'll see what they can do now off the draw.
We wait for the face-off here. It's Morano, Romano, and Malcassian. The line out there. Tight scramble in the draw as they try and dig this free. It's going to come loose on the far side, and Mississauga will send it out to center. Over the line, maybe a 2-on-1 here. Sent out front. Here's Caden Taylor, shoots! And he threw that right through the crease. Back to the line now. Across, here's Taylor again. He shoots! And that one deflects to the corner. First good couple of chances here for Caden Taylor in this game. As now up the wing comes Romano. Romano carries it in behind the net. Sends it out front for Morano, and he lost that puck. Back with it is a Junior Canadiens change. Saga can't get that puck up through center, and now it's tipped in deep. Ginman chasing after it. Another call up on the ice here as Javier Nye stepped in after the puck.
Looked like there's a bit of an actual confrontation between Jack Ivankovic and the Junior Canadiens player during play. It seemed they had gotten tangled together for an instant behind the goal line.
As that puck is trailed on the ice, and it looks like we got a penalty coming up here against Toronto. Interference the call, and it's going against Harrison McLean. So a chance here for Mississauga to equalize as they get their first power play opportunity.
And this is a great opportunity now for the Mississauga Senators. Matthew Manza on the ice with Sean Costello, along with Luca Bonomo, a great facilitator from the back end. Can really create offense and just find those open passing lanes to see what he can draw up here.
Sent off to the left wing, and now it's up top for Bonomo. Bonomo shoots! And that one didn't get through all the traffic. Far side played up to the point by Broussard. Bonomo flips that across onto the stick of Trozo. Returns it to Bonomo, but had that hop over his stick. He's got to get back in a hurry. As now the Junior Canadiens try and take advantage, but good recovery from Bonomo. Sent ahead, and onto the attack come the Mississauga Senators. Sent back and onto the attack, here's Trozo, ringing it around the boards. Broussard on the far side gets it. Broussard, he's got Connors stepping into support. Now it's back in deep, and this will trickle all the way back down, and should trigger a change for at least one of the teams. Onto the attack comes Mississauga again. Flying up that wing is Connors, and he has that ripped off his stick and sent down the ice once again.
Junior Canadiens doing a great job being aggressive along the boards and just forcing those turnovers in the neutral zone, and it ends up back in the Sens end. They really got to try to transport the puck back into the offensive zone and make some plays.
Here comes Mississauga on the rush, puck loose right out in front of the goal, and Rear Long had that knocked away from him. This is going to trickle all the way back down once again. Final half minute of this man advantage. Through the neutral zone, here comes Mississauga. On the far side, it's flipped down into the corner. Long chasing after it here. Puck down. Trapped in that corner. Sent to the point by Taylor. Takes the return feed, and that shot by Taylor whistled wide. At the point once again. Now it's sent up inside. Here's Breer Long. He shoots. He scores. Breer Long has made it a tie game.
And that's just the spark they needed to ignite. The Mississauga Senators equalize it on the power play off a Breer Long snapshot. Really wound up on that one and was able to beat it. It looked like it went top glove on goaltender Alexander Armelin, and suddenly with 6:30 to go in the opening period, it's a tied game at 1, and both teams now scoring on the man advantage.
Goal comes with 6.5 to go in this first period, so we've got a whole new game here as we're away here once again, and Toronto has possession. It's tipped ahead by Malcassian. Back behind the net for it. Stopped by Morano. He throws that out back in front, but he's picked off, and out the other way come the Sens. Trying to cut through the middle here is chance now as the puck came loose, and a good rush there from Matthew Manza created that opportunity. The corner, now back up to the line. A long shot that didn't get through the traffic, and now it comes up high for Muszynski. Muszynski tried to flip that down into the corner, but couldn't do it. Now Ianov sends it to the line. Another long shot that didn't get through traffic. Now comes Ruth, loose in front of the net again, and another shot that doesn't get through that Junior Canadiens defense. On to the attack now. Toronto trying to get their lead back. As this puck is sent down the ice, and we'll get a whistle and a face-off.
Sens now will get a chance in the offensive zone as they have some multiple players come on the ice. Chase Yanni out there. We relied upon to take defensive zone face-offs, but see Matthew Maggio. And Ethan Broussard there as well as a potential one-time option off the face-off.
As it slides out to center. And back, and now it's tipped in deep by the Senators. Back forward here, sent off the end boards, and onto the attack. The Junior Canadiens trying to get their offense going once again. Sent ahead for Chase Yanni. Yanni, he takes a hard check. Couldn't get that puck over the line. Now here comes Ethan Broussard. Broussard shoots, glove, save Armelin, and he'll draw the whistle.
See some post-whistle scrums there. John Costello in the midst of the action with a couple Junior Canadiens as we'll see a line substitution on both sides. It'll be the Luca Moreno line out at defensive end here for these Junior Canadiens, while Caden Taylor out of a goal scorer, Breer Lungs, a two-shot threat in the offensive zone for the face-off.
5:02 to go now. As the puck is won back by the Junior Canadiens, flipped around the boards, and onto the attack comes Toronto. Puck loose in the neutral zone there, and it'll trickle back down, and Xander Valaris gets onto it, sends it across for his defensive partner, and now a long pass ahead, bounced up and over the head of Morano, and out of play.
And these Senators have been very aggressive in terms of disrupting passing lanes, and we just saw an example of that there. Just trying to make a simple cross-seam pass to your blue line partner, and they're disrupting and making them go out of play, and they win the face-off here, so able to regain possession because of it.
Connors rips that in deep, and Graziano will have to play it. Tries to get it out over the line, but is held in for the moment by Mississauga. Romano in there battling for it, but it comes free. There's a sharp angle shot as Armelin will hang on to that one.
Armelin's been pretty swift in terms of his crease movements and just his calm and poise in the net. That can be a staple set of both Armelin twins, but Alex is really backing it up with some of the saves he's made early on in game one. Probably didn't love the goal he gave up on the power play and had an opportunity there along the left flank and was able to make that stop.
This puck is backhanded up ahead. Didn't get through all that traffic, and it'll trickle all the way back down into the Junior Canadiens zone. Set right out in front as Breer Long looked for that cross-seam pass, but didn't connect, and now carried through the neutral zone. Now Cassian offside called at the Mississauga line.
And just trying to go a bit too far there, but another example again of the Senators taking away lanes and just really playing aggressive, boxing out their mans, and we'll see what some of these call-ups can do on the Junior Canadiens. Can provide a bit of a different energy in the bottom half of their lineup.
Javi Nye back out on the ice here for Toronto. Playing with Martel, who has the goal in this game for Toronto. Now Martel racing onto the puck. Here's Hector Martel, throws that back in front. Came right back to him. He tried again, but it was knocked down. Martel down in the corner. Martel trying to get that up to the line for Levine, and it'll trickle out. And Javi and Nye now under some pressure here, and it's taken away. Here's Ethan Broussard, stops up in the corner. Tried to send that back out in front, but it bounced off a stick and down the ice. Racing back after it is Ryder Graves. Now onto the attack comes Mississauga. They're turned back at the Toronto line. Get another try now. Falling there. There's a pass back and a quick shot as Ryder Graves stepped in. It's turned aside. In the corner now. Another chance as that puck bounced up high and it'll be gloved down by Alex Armelin.
Ryder Graves impressing in that latest sequence, able to get a shot off and just facilitate some passes up the ice. As the Sens have been a lot more effective on 5-on-5 in terms of just generating plays off the cycle and getting more pucks into the inner slot area for passes and slot and shot attempts. So that's what they need to do more. Just try to really win every shift you can at 5-on-5 more with your opponent.
Puck trickles back here, and Valeris had a funny hop, and it went over a stick. Now Taylor shoots! Glove! Save! Armelin as Caden Taylor looks dangerous once again.
Caden Taylor starting to get some more shots off. He definitely wants to try to reignite his form in terms of finding those high danger chances. I feel like he's gotten a few good looks, but he hasn't been able to really get it off the way he wants to.
As that puck is chipped out and into the neutral zone by Yanni. And it comes all the way back down once again. Puck drop back and onto the attack. Here come the Junior Canadiens. A 3-on-2 developing here. Carried into the corner now. Puck is knocked off his stick, and now Malkassian after it. Malkassian couldn't find a way through all that traffic. And now the puck comes free on the other side. To the line, Valeris. Valeris walks the line, shoots, tipped, glove, save, Ivan Kovic.
One of the best saves of the period for goaltender Jack Ivan Kovic. There's a redirection there in terms of the deflection by that Junior Canadiens player, and was able to redirect his glove and make it look easy, as Junior Canadiens will draw another offensive zone face-off.
Send out Romano to take it once again. And now he's won it back. A quick shot as Moreno came up with a quick chance off that face-off, and now it's back for Ethan Armstrong. Armstrong will rings that in around the boards. On the other side, centering pass, as nobody was there to receive that. Into the corner, carried by Moreno. Comes free and out the other way. The Senators get it down the ice, and back for it here. Toronto will get started on the rush. Puck comes loose, and Manza's in after it. Here's Manza, carries it down to the corner. Manza, centering pass, right out in front of the goal. Armelin down, and he hangs on to make the save.
And Armelin just got a piece of it and was able to body it down. So much traffic in front of his crease, and just a testament to the playoff style that these Senators have really adapted to in Game 2. A lot more aggressive, winning battles along the boards and in that inner slot area. And they're just trying to generate second and third chance opportunities on Armelin, but he's not allowing it.
Now the puck comes free and is backhanded up the boards. Flipped off the glass and in deep. That pass intercepted at center and flipped it deep again by Harrison McLean. Back behind the net for it, a collision in the corner. As that puck is going to trickle all the way back down once again. Sent across here, and McLean's got it. Harrison McLean, outlet pass, and onto the attack, over the red line. Wang had that knocked away from him, and it's back for McLean again. McLean plays it across, and it's flipped in deep. O'Brien's going to chase after, but it's right on goal, and Ivan Kovic will hang on to draw the faceoff.
And now another opportunity here for these Junior Canadiens in the offensive zone. They roll right back out. It's Romano out of Martel and Malkassian.
Some line mixing going on here for the Junior Canadiens. Usually it's Morano out with Romano and Malkassian, but a new look here as they try and retake the lead. And getting waved out of the draw there was Romano, so Martel will come in to take the draw, but the Senators win it back. Puck is flipped out to center, knocked down in the neutral zone. Played across here. Onto the attack, Malkassian sent it in. That one's going to trickle in behind the net. Sent ahead for Caden Taylor. He couldn't settle it down, and comes loose right in front of the goal. A backhand try as Romano found himself alone in front, but Ivan Kovic stands tall.
And some good work there from the blue line. It was Luca Graziano just sitting it on goal. And it looked like it was Malkassian had a chance right in front of the net. He was able to get on Ivan Kovic, but he gloves it down once again, showcasing how great of a season he's had thus far. And why he's projected to go high in this upcoming OHL draft. Just for making harder saves look simple.
Face-off is won back by Toronto. Comes to Graziano at the line. He shoots. Stopped. Rebound. Loose out front of the goal, but it's quickly cleared away as Ivan Kovic had some trouble with that fluttering point shot. Along the end boards now, and Breer Long will step in to try and dig it free. Long gets it loose. Long sends it ahead, and up onto the attack come the Senators. Flipped in deep. Manza will chase. Manza gets in after it, and now comes free. Sent up top, Trozo holds the zone as Broussard. Now the Junior Canadiens get it out as Romano goes to the attack. Nice move, Romano, but he's knocked off the puck by Trozo. Down low, final seconds of this period, a centering pass, and that one doesn't connect, and that'll do it for the first period. So after one, it's 1-1 between the Mississauga Senators and the Toronto Junior Canadiens.
And a player we didn't notice too much in that period was Jake O'Brien. The Senators really were able to neutralize him in terms of his line when he was on the ice. Just wasn't able to generate much in terms of offense, and that's just a testament to their play style. In the opening 15 minutes of Game 2, they were able to be a lot more aggressive on the pucks, known as hounds, as they say, and were able to just gain inside positioning a lot, generate more chances in the inner slot at 5-on-5, and if it wasn't for some great stops by goaltender Alexander Armelin, this could be a 2-1, 3-1 lead for Mississauga. That's a testament to how they played thus far.
So we are getting ready for the second period now. That's Frateroli. Frateroli going to the net for the Mississauga Senators, so not sure what necessitated the goaltending swap.
Well, we'll have to see, but Frateroli is certainly capable of being called upon when needed.
He's definitely the whole game. As the face-off is won back by Mississauga, but a loose puck came free, and nearly a great early chance there as now Valentini is knocked down at center, but he gets it ahead for Caden Taylor. Taylor trying to throw it back in front. Now in the corner, Valentini battling for it. Comes free for Long. Long trying to get that out front for Taylor, but had that knocked away, and now Connors. Connors ahead. In deep. This is going to go all the way down. No icing on the play, and then now it's off the end boards. Return feed. Taylor's there for it, but lost control. Now on the end board, sent ahead. The Junior Canadiens will go to the attack. Flying over the line. Here's O'Brien, a sharp angle shot. That one is blockered away. Comes to the far side now. A long shot again. That puck loose. Taylor knocks it down to the line, but he can't get the clear. Yanni onto it now. Here's Chase Yanni sending that out in front, and now Caden Taylor gets that loose puck. Here comes Caden Taylor flying up the left wing. He shoots! Stopped by Armelin, and he'll play out the rebound. Another long stretch pass, and a break! Offside called at the Mississauga line.
And that latest sequence was an excellent example of transition defense from number 17 on the Junior Canadiens. Michael Levine was able to tight up his gap on Caden Taylor, one of the premier goal scorers at the GTHL level in this season, and was able to just stop him up there. Tight gap control, was able to disrupt the zone entry and get the puck back yet away for a chance for the Mississauga Senators.
As the face-off will come on the far side here to the right of Ivan Kovic, and there's a penalty that's been called here against Mississauga. So a power play chance here for the Junior Canadiens. They're 1-for-1 so far with the man advantage. Walking the line, now sent off to the near side. Wang into the middle. Now back up to the line again. A long shot. Rebound comes loose to the side of the goal, and that one poked away. Here's Wang. Wang switching spots there with Valeris. Now Valeris swinging at that one and couldn't connect on the one-time shot. That was loose behind the net. It's cleared to the line and hops over the stick of Romano and down the ice. Sends kill off the first half minute of the man advantage.
Hongyu Wang starting to open it up on the ice too. That was among the best he's looked in this series, just from creating space and using his agility and foot speed to his advantage.
Puck sent ahead, it bounced over a stick, and Connors will send it right back out. Slowing it down on the Senators as the Junior Canadiens offside here. Now Toronto will start a change, as offside's going to be called here at the Toronto line now. So we'll get another face-off.
And the Sens have almost survived this power play. And it has been flooded with power play goals thus far in this game. As they try to have that continue on the Junior Canadiens, but the Sens not letting it happen, just trying to force it out and just play low event hockey and play it along the boards, just try to keep it dead as much as they can while shorthanded.
Final minute of the power play now is Jake O'Brien's got the puck. O'Brien to Malkassian. Returns to O'Brien. To the line. Graziano, a one-time shot stop. Rebound loose, and it'll be cleared away. Valentini couldn't get out of the zone, though. Here's O'Brien into the middle. Shot! Score! Chase Yeti! And the Junior Canadiens have the lead!
Make that 3 power play goals on the game between these two sides, and the latest recipient, Chase Yanni. What a retrieval there. It was going out, but the Junior Canadiens player was able to strip it at the blue line, send it back along the right flank, and they send it up into the inner slot to Chase Yanni, and he buries it.
And it starts with the failed clear there from the Senators. They had a chance to get it out, but good pressure from the Junior Canadiens blue line keeps the play alive, and it leads to the goal as we're away again here, sent across. And now ahead for Morano. Morano sends that across as the Junior Canadiens look to extend their lead. Puck comes loose right out in front of the goal, and a good opportunity there as Junior Canadiens nearly struck again.
And you can already tell they've gained some momentum off that, and Frateroli had to come back to his post a bit quicker there. Otherwise, there was some open net to work with, but was able to make the stop.
Now it's flipped in deep, and that'll be gloved down and held by Armelin.
I've seen some battles there after the whistle. As this playoff series progresses into these later rounds, these teams know what's on the line, as both of them aspire for an OHL Cup. And the Junior Canadiens definitely don't want to blow a lead. They know what happened last game. They do not want to let it happen again tonight.
Katie Taylor out there again for the Senators. Valentini to take the draw as they look to tie this game at 2. Puck comes free. It's knocked down at the line, but poked out and will bring it in deep again to the Senators. Back with it with some time and space. Toronto gets the rush started now. Here comes Luca Romano. Romano shoots! Glove save by Frateroli, but he couldn't hang on to it. Now the puck into the corner. And out the other way comes Mississauga. Now back for it again and flipped up into the center ice area. Lost it in his feet. There was Valentini. And now onto the attack again comes Toronto. Into the middle. Here's Morano to the net. Morano scores! Luca Romano has made this 3-1.
And it's Luca Romano just driving hard to the net, finding that open lane, putting it to his backhand. It looked like it was initially trying to do a cross-seam pass, but was able to get it himself on the rebound. And suddenly, it's 3-1, the first even-strength goal on both sides of Game 2.
Goals come just a minute and a half apart as the New Canadiens gain possession once again. They have all the momentum here. And Mississauga, they've been in this situation before in this series, down by 2 as that puck comes loose out in front of the goal again. But it's cleared down the ice this time by Mississauga. Puck fired across a D-to-D pass, and then it's chipped up along the wing and down. And not icing, I think that hit a player in the Junior Canadiens bench. And so the whistle will be called.
For the Mississauga Senators now, they just have to establish some pace and refine their form from early on in the first period. Don't try to back down because we're still only halfway through this game. Plenty of time left, only a 2-goal deficit. We saw them in Game 1 come back. And it's certainly possible here. They just got to rely on some of their top players and allow them to find their game at even strength.
The puck trickles all the way back down. And onto the attack again. Here comes the Sens. Trying to get themselves back into this game, but turned aside of the line. Now into the attack. in sent to the front of the goal. A chance, they score! Ethan Brassard has answered for Mississauga.
Are you watching this? Unbelievable. The goal scoring really ramping up in the second period. And just like we said, the top player had to step up, while number 10, Ethan Brassard, went hard to the net, got his stick down on the ice. I was able to redirect it past Armelin to get it into the back of the net. It's a one-goal hockey game in the second period.
So now Mississauga clawed their way right back into this run. For the Junior Canadiens, you got to be careful now. You can't let that swing the momentum of this game, which is played ahead and past Caden Taylor. Icing will be called here against Mississauga.
So that was 2 goals in the span of 47 seconds. And we'll see if they just continue shortening the time length as we saw already, but nonetheless, the Junior Canadiens now are the type of team they want to reestablish the pace once again, so don't expect them to back down and play a defensive-heavy game and just try to neutralize the Sens. The rest of the way, they're going to continue to attack on offense.
Speaking of attacking on offense, they have an offensive zone face-off here. And it's one back quickly. A long shot. That one whistled high and wide. That's cleared out to center. Now drop back, and Caden Taylor couldn't gain control, and Valeris will step back with it slowly. Flip down into the corner once again. In the corner with it now is Morano, sending that across. Chip down to the corner. Loose behind the net. The Senators trying to get it free and clear. Can't get it out yet. Now they will. Up the boards and back for it. Junior Canadiens recover quickly. Stopping up in his own zone. The drop back pass turned the other way. Caden Taylor forechecking, couldn't get a stick on that puck. Up the boards now. Morano to Romano. Romano trying to split the knee. Nice move, but he had it poked off his stick in the last second.
Some excellent skill and creativity on display there from Romano to just drive it back to his backhand, but wasn't able to maintain possession.
Quick shot and glove down as Armelin makes that save with just over 9 to go in this second period.
And overall, the Sens now, 9:04 to play in this second period, just want to continue attacking off the rush. As we saw, there was a rush opportunity on that second goal of the game just a few minutes ago. They want to continue to utilize their speed as much as they can in certain situations, try to generate as many odd man attacks, and that's just some clean breakout passing and just utilizing your forward mobility.
Ianov chasing after that puck in the corner. Battle for it going on down low. Kept up the boards here is Toronto trying to get this free. Now they will have a chance to clear it out to center. Ahead for Malkassian now. Malkassian tips it in deep. It's fired ahead and out to center with it come the Sens, but they've lost the puck once again here. Onto the attack now. In on a breakaway. Jinman scores! Wyatt Jinman has restored the 2-goal lead.
And this is unbelievable. We just mentioned the Junior Canadiens will play to the attack, and it did right there, getting their own breakaway chance, and Wyatt Jinman going forehand through the 5-hole of Frateroli.
And so a 2-goal lead once again for these Junior Canadiens. And for the Mississauga Senators, you're back in this position, down by 2 in a crucial game. You're looking to try and get back into it. It's fired up the right wing as Mississauga quickly starts their attack once again. Sent back into the neutral zone here is turning with it with Carozzo, and deep in the Junior Canadiens end once again. Wang back for it. Wang couldn't clear the zone. Graves firing that in front. Battle for it. Here's Malkassian tried to get it free up into the middle. A long shot from Brassard, and that was knocked away by Armelin, and the whistle will go here.
Ethan Brassard utilizing the shot, went up high there as he saw some traffic towards the front of the net. Wasn't able to generate what he liked, though, as we now see some substitutions on both sides. Jake O'Brien coming back out. And even though it's been a bit of a quieter game for number 44, still very solid defensively. They trust him in these situations, especially when Caden Taylor's out there looking for that one-time chance off the face-off.
On to the attack again comes Toronto. Carried in on the wing, a sharp angle shot, and that is swallowed up by Frateroli.
That's a confident stop by Frateroli, just not even bothering to go down, staying in the butterfly position, and just gets it cleanly. And Jake O'Brien, one of the best face-off takers in the GTHL this season, wins another.
As he's under pressure here, but he maintains possession for the moment, taken away now by Mississauga. They have it in the far corner now. Sent up to the line, but not out. As Mississauga takes it right back in. Or Toronto, that is. Nice saucer pass up the wing, and another long stretch pass ahead for Caden Taylor. Taylor down into the corner, a sharp angle shot, rebound out front, and that one's quickly cleared away. Caden Taylor with another dangerous look here. There's a long shot that was tipped up high. Fired around the boards by Graves. Valentini forechecking here. That with it comes Mississauga, Toronto again to the offensive zone, but they're turned back to the line. Puck sent back, and that got out away from Dianov. Over the line come the Senators. There's a quick shot. That one's chipped away and flipped ahead into the offensive zone. Turning with it here is Jaden Connors. Connors with a head of steam. He'll flip it in deep. Comes to the end boards, and it'll be played down the boards. Jidman grabbed it, sent it right back in deep, and now it's sent ahead. Long pass. Jake O'Brien trying to race onto that, but couldn't control it. He'll go off for a change. Back for it here, and it's sent off to the side for Taylor. Taylor up ahead and trying to get through the traffic there is Manza. He ran into his man. And it's sent around the boards once again. Backing up with it are the Sens. Sent ahead and a collision there in the neutral zone. That looked like it was Costello being taken down.
Definitely an awkward fall along the boards there, but both players able to get back up in quick succession as they continue to play on the ice.
Up through the neutral zone. Another collision there at the blue line as offside called with 5:36 to go in this second period.
Well, one thing both teams have been struggling at some various points is just generating controlled entries and plays off the rush. Generally, most of these goals have been coming in while the puck has already been sustained in the offensive zone, and rather it's been more difficult to actually transport the puck, and that's just a testament to when two teams as good as these teams are play each other. It's a bit difficult to really counteract that both their offense.
The puck is cleared out to the line and holding it here. Now it's sent into the corner. Down low, turning with it, trying to get it out in front. Puck still loose down there. Penalty upcoming here against Mississauga. A long shot from the line, and that one deflected down into the corner. Sent back up top. Here's Armstrong. Shoots! And that one is knocked down as the penalty will be called now. 5:03 to go in this second period, and Ethan Brassard is going to be sent off for the second time in this game.
And not the way he wanted to double down tonight, as he'll take a second penalty of this game, and one of the penalty killers, too, on this Sens team, so we'll definitely miss him having to rely on Adam Valentini and Greer Lung as the forwards with Trozo on the ice, but let's see how the Junior Canadiens can take advantage here. They already got 2 power play goals, looking to make it 3 in this period.
Junior Canadiens have not failed to score in a power play so far in this game. The scramble and the draw is still in the circle there, and finally it's one back. Graziano at the line, sends it off to the side. Now takes the return feed, sends it right back. Now it's sent across, and O'Brien couldn't settle that down. Now backhanded across once again. Held at the line here, it's carried across, and Romano has it now. Romano down into the corner. Malkassian rubbed out along the end boards, and Romano has it again now. Romano to O'Brien. O'Brien for Graziano. Back to O'Brien. Sends it off into the middle and knocked off the stick there of Valaris. Now a chance for Graziano, and he shot it wide. Another penalty coming up here, and I think there's a high stick as Junior Canadian went down, so it's going to be a 5-on-3 man advantage for the Junior Canadians here.
As now what descends another penalty killer going off to the box.
It's Trozo heading off here for the high stick, so a 2-man advantage here for a minute 14 for these Junior Canadians, and this will be a crucial part of the game.
We saw some clean puck movement in the offensive zone. The Junior Canadians utilizing their flanks. Graziano really coming in and changing positions, being very deceptive with the puck. Let's see if they continue that now with this next unit.
Face-off is won back by the Junior Canadians here as they start their power play. There's a 5-on-3 power play as Jake O'Brien sends it across. Here's Martel with a shot. And that one is knocked down as that was Valaris getting that one through.
And it was just the deceptiveness of Jake O'Brien on display. Was able to fool everybody in the building thinking he was going to shoot it there. Oh, they get a nice cross-seam pass over to Valaris and allows him to buy another extra couple strides for the shot. And a nice save there by Frateroli as Raul opened that for him to make the stop.
Chance here for the Sens to clear, but they can't do it as the puck comes free down low. Back with it here is Wang. Wang turns with it. Slowly sends it up to the line now. Got it to Valaris. Here's Wang. Wang to the side of the net, right out in front, and nobody was there to receive that pass. Carried in now. Here comes Martel. He shoots. He scores! Hector Martel has made it a 5-2 game.
And great work there by Martel, jumping back into the point there, switching with Valaris, and was able to head up the right flank. Had some space there. Usually you wouldn't necessarily see him shoot in that instance, but he found some open ice and was able to beat Jonathan Frateroli. Looked like top shelf over his left shoulder, so great work there displayed as Hector Martel has his second goal of the game.
That was with 3:43 to go in the second period, and still a minute 26 of power play here for the Junior Canadians to work with as they've won the puck ahead. Here comes Romano. Romano to the net, out front, scores! Chase Yeti, just 7 seconds later, it's 6-2 Toronto.
That's unbelievable. As it is Romano able to get to the front of the net on a 2-on-1, just strictly creating that due to his speed off the rush. It's a straight line skating and edge work on display as he feeds it right back to Chase Yanni in the right spot in the right time, and 2 players now have doubled down for these Junior Canadians in Game 2.
3:36 to go, so the goals do come just 7 seconds apart, and just disaster is struck here for these Mississauga Senators in the second period as this puck is sent all the way down for an icing call.
And that's just utilizing on the power play. So that's 4 power play goals now in this game, and
4 for 4 with the man advantage.
They've just been very dominant, and for the Sens now they have to be more disciplined. They cannot have their penalty killers taking penalties nonetheless. And just have to try to remain on 5-on-5 because that's ultimately, they've been good on 5-on-5 in this game, but 4 power play goals against, you're going to lose. And they've really taken themselves out of this game here where they had a chance to go up 2-0 and now it looks destined for a tied series, but who knows.
As that long shot from Trozo deflects out of play. So for these Senators, you certainly want to be trying to get one before the end of this second period.
No! Well, it's plain. It shows sound coming out. How's that possible?
As it's
Oh shit, is there sound recording? Okay, just talk.
as the puck is sent to the line, a shot from Graziano. And behind the goal now, the Senators start up with it. Sent across here. Played into the middle, and that puck just narrowly missed its intended target. Now it's sent up to the line once again, and it's going to trickle all the way back down into the Senators zone with Jaden Connors First man back for it.
For the Sens to come back in this game, you need 2 goals here to end it off. Try to make it within 2, or at least try to get 1 here quickly. Do whatever you can. Have your defenseman and Bonomo and Graves come back up.
But here's a chance for the Junior Canadiens as they look to extend the lead even further. Couldn't get that to go. Played ahead here by Valentini. As whistle goes, and slashing penalty is going to be called here against the Toronto Junior Canadiens.
And the Sens now get a chance back on the main advantage, 1 for 2 on the night. And so it was Ethan Broussard who struck rather Breer Lund who struck early on the first power play of the game for the Sens back in the first period. So see if they can reignite that. Just try to utilize the flanks as much as you can and go for those off-angle shots on Alex Armelin, which seems to be a case where you can't beat him in that instance. So kind of go for those off-angle shots and make sure you have sharp shooters, and perhaps it will work.
As see a penalty now, it looks like there's still some discussion happening here, but Junior Canadiens will be shorthanded here as Valeris will go to the box. 2:19 to go in this second period, a crucial power play for these Mississauga Senators if they want to have any hope of making a comeback in this game. And the puck is sent down into the corner, and Mississauga gets it to the line now. Sent across, Dienov had that bounce over his stick. So that's Valentini. Now Ryder Graves stepping in to support. Back up top for Graves. Graves down into the corner. Now he gets the return feed. Graves off to the side for a one-time shot. And that one is blocked. It'll come out back to center. Right back in come the Senators now as they try and find their offense in this second. Along the boards, it's cleared, but not it. Now here's Graves. Graves off to the side, a shot, and that's turned aside by Armelin. And it'll be cleared out to center here as the Junior Canadiens survive the first minute here. Starting up with it are the Sens now. A quick shot, and that one fought off by Armelin, and it's cleared down the ice once again.
Another example of Ethan Broussard just outside the right face-off dot, just putting everything he has to muster it on net, but a nice blocker save by Armelin was able to control the rebound back into the half wall.
Enza couldn't get control of that. Puck comes to the line, and it'll be cleared down once again. A race for this puck. And whoa, some pushing and shoving going on there. Malkassian was hauled down, and penalty will be called on that play, as the two are just jockeying for position and going to that puck, and Malkassian got pulled down to the ice, trying to see who he was racing against there.
It looked like it was kind of two players, similar frames, really just trying to get on underneath each other there in a sprint along the board. Had to be careful. It could have been a bit dangerous depending how close they got below the goal line.
And that's Trozo going off. And it looks like Malkassian has been sent to the box as well. So, as we'll see, it looks like it's... So it does appear to still be 5-on-4. It's trying to determine what the penalties shake out to be, and it appears it's offsetting penalties there for Trozo and Malkassian as the Sens remain on the power play. We're in the final 35 seconds of this middle frame. Carried up through center now. Flipped up towards the point. Here's Caden Taylor with a shot, and that one was stopped and held by Armelin. 24 seconds remain in the period.
And Caden Taylor there gets his 5th shot of the game, but has yet to convert on any of them. Certainly hasn't been as impressive as he was in the opening round. It's just been a bit more difficult for him as the Sens have really the Junior Canadiens have game planned at really neutralizing them in all situations, in all areas of the offensive end.
Puck is played back to the line again. A quick shot is turned aside and held, and 18 seconds now remaining in this second period.
And for the Sens at this point, although a comeback is unlikely, you just saw the Junior Canadiens had a 5-goal period. You're being tasked with getting 4 you intend on forcing us to overtime, so you never know. But just try to play honorable and just do whatever you can headed into Game 3. It's a long series. You're playing one of the best teams in the league, and you need that coming in. So it's just about not letting this get too out of hand and just trying to figure out a game plan against these Junior Canadiens and how you can go up against them and be effective. I'm neutralizing their top players.
Puck played to the line. A quick shot from Muszynski. He didn't get through the traffic, and dying seconds here of this period will take away. So we go to the third. It's a 6-2 lead for the Toronto Junior Canadiens here in Game 2 of Round 2.
As we just mentioned, 5 goals for the Junior Canadiens, 1 goal for the Sens, so it's a 6-goal second period in total. Not often you get that in the playoffs, but it's a GTHL, U16 level. Anything can happen, and we definitely got a series here as the Junior Canadiens looking to tie it up as at 1 apiece.
So we will be back for the third period. Jaden Hover, Jordan Jacklin, and everyone here at the Six Hockey will see you after the break.
By Toronto, and they'll play it out behind their own goal. And icing called here against Toronto early in this third.
And for the Sens, they just want to get the next goal here and really try to make this a respectable game. They don't want it to be a situation where they will have to run the clock. Make it honorable. This is a playoff game. You have scouts watching you as you develop here and play in these high-pressure situations. Just don't think too much about it. Just try to reestablish the pace, take this break of the intermission, and come back out flying.
So puck comes down to the corner. Mississauga gains possession here, trying to get that in front. Caden Taylor was waiting for it, but couldn't get his control. And now comes to the line. It'll trickle back down towards the Senators' zone. Jaden Connors is back for it. Gets things pointed in the right direction, but he lost control of the puck for a moment. And now Toronto has the puck. Connors trying to get it loose and gets it now to Taylor. Caden Taylor, who's had his looks in this game, but hasn't been able to convert.
It's been difficult for Caden Taylor so far in this series. The Junior Canadiens have really been able to neutralize him, and when he does pick his spots, it's just been more so low blocker and not really going up high as he's used to. Hasn't really been able to get his signature shot off, and that's just a showcase of how he's going to have to play in other ways to bring different aspects of the team to help them, to contribute to them winning.
As the puck comes down into the corner now, and the Junior Canadiens just happy to pin that puck in this end for as long as they can, but comes towards the line now. McLean couldn't hold it. That's going to trickle all the way down the ice into the corner. See Jake O'Brien stepping onto the ice here. The Junior Canadiens have really used their stars in this game, as Martel tried to get through traffic there. Puck comes in behind the goal. Lots of ice time for this Jake O'Brien line so far in this game. At the point, a quick shot, as that was Ambrosio trying to get that through. A big collision there near that Toronto blue line. Junior Canadiens wanted a penalty. That's not going to come. Now slowly back for it are the Junior Canadiens again. Puck bounces up high in the neutral zone. Now Jake O'Brien will carry it into the offensive zone. O'Brien with a quick shot, and that one just slid right through the crease. And onto the attack now. In comes Dianov. Rafek Dianov. Nice move inside out. Trying for the wraparound, but couldn't get it to go.
And Rafek Dianov has those silky hands in transition. Is able to deceptively get by defenders on the opposing teams just by using his puck handling abilities. Overall, I wouldn't have mind seeing him trying to drive to the net there, but ultimately was thinking wraparound, but the Junior Canadiens were able to close up that lane real fast. But some creativity in transition is what is needed, and hopefully he can just really start to build off that shift to shift, perhaps lead to some offense, even if it's not in this game, maybe in Game 3 and later in this series.
As the puck comes back out into the Junior Canadian zone, and they'll slowly get things started. It's the Morano line out there for them. And now the Senators will come out on the counterattack, trying to find some offense here, but losing the puck off his stick was Taylor. It's flung around the boards once again. Now, the Junior Canadiens do have quite a few U15 call-ups in their lineup in this game, but we haven't seen too much of them. Coach Dave Demizio opting to use them sparingly as we get a whistle with 11:26 to go in this game.
And you definitely don't want to overuse them in a playoff situation, but give them a respectable taste. We've seen Javi and May get the most, I believe, out of any shifts of the players that have been called up, and we'll see if they'll be relied upon more as the series continues. Wear and tear can happen, especially at this age, with the physicality ramping as it is. So some of these U15 players may need to be relied upon later in the series.
As the puck comes to the boards and the Senators get it down into the corner. Maggioni fired it around the boards and comes up towards the line. Sent right back in deep. So it comes free now and it's sent up the boards again. Junior Canadiens trying to get their rush started here. They haven't backed down at all with this big lead in the third period, and they're onto the attack here. Sent off here for Chase Yanni. Yanni's trying to thread that one across, but couldn't connect on the pass. Now into the corner. Centering pass again. Loose in front. They score. It's Chase Yanni, and he's completed the hat trick to make it 7-2 Toronto.
Well, Jaden, Nicholas Addy isn't in the lineup in this game, so the Junior Canadiens needed somebody to step up, and it was Chase Yanni. And once again, that's his first even-strength goal, I believe, of the game, as he completes the hat trick and just found himself in a chance to get the rebound and was able to put it past goaltender Frateroli. So it's now a 7-2 game with 10:39 to play, and Chase Yanni has a hat trick.
And with it being a 5-goal lead now, we'll keep an eye on the clock here, as this is usually the threshold for which they judge whether or not to run the clock. It's poked into the corner now. A centering pass comes loose right in front of the goal, and another good save there from Frateroli, as the Junior Canadiens have not let up at all so far. And you see now that they have put Ambrosio out on the blue line there. One of their U15 call-ups for this game in the absence of some of their players. Nico Addy, a notable exclusion from tonight's lineup.
He created a lot in game 1 too, but that's just a testament to your depth and development program. I mean, Toronto Junior Canadiens are really raising the standards in the GTHL, up there with the Marlies, up there with even the likes of the Senators, who have obviously developed some great players like Zane Perek, Michael Misa in the last few years. And
Michael Misa and Malcolm Spence, two notable former Mississauga Senators who have made their way into the OHL this season, and you'd have to expect Caden Taylor as well as some others to follow in their footsteps going into next season.
Caden Taylor, it does project to be a top 20 pick. It could have been higher potentially, but we'll just have to see what he can do now in the rest of this series. Obviously has a big frame. Is a player that can really be built for playoff action. It's just about his willingness to get into some of these areas, but testament to the Junior Canadiens, they've really done their best to neutralize him. So when you have 2-3 players on you constantly, however, it makes it a lot more difficult. So that's just a big testament to Taylor and how good the opposition respects him, and just a learning experience for him and getting by that.
And it will be great for OHL fans to be able to get a look at Caden Taylor and Jake O'Brien in coming years, as those two will certainly go head-to-head more than just this playoff series in the future. As it's played ahead there by Ryder Graves, as we are running the clock now for the final minutes of this period, so the Senators will have very little time to try and mount this already challenging comeback, as a stretch pass there is tipped in deep. It's flipped out into the corner now.
Up to the line for a quick shot, and that one is blockered away. And it'll be cleared out here, but not into center yet. Another chance from a sharp angle, and that one's turned aside once again, and Bonomo will bounce that off the boards and down the ice, and this should be an icing call against the Senators.
A defenseman that's really stepped up their game for these junior Canadians with some of the absences is Xander Villeras, in terms of just being able to create shots through traffic, deceptively skate, really quick edges, and just moves at a quick pace, and really been a minute eater tonight for these junior Canadians in all situations.
There's a quick shot off the draw as Villeras forced it ahead, back to the point now. Another quick shot, and that one is gloved and held for another whistle. There's 7 minutes to go, and again, clock is running here. So for the Senators' purposes, they're just about done in this game. Their hopes of a comeback have rapidly faded, especially as that clock ticks down. So what is the message, do you think, on that bench right now as they try and recover from this blowout loss and move on to game 3?
Well, the message from head coach Steven Kamegna and his coaching staff is just continue to play hard and don't give up at this instance. It's easy to think of score effects at this instance and be, as if we just saw a big hit there. Even the junior Canadians don't care. Ramp up the physicality a bit, but play in the means of the rules. Do not injure yourselves, and just make it difficult to play against. Identify that pest mentality, and just be willing to go there. It's the playoffs. You have to be willing to just go in more and be a bit more of a nuisance on the ice.
And you know that being a nuisance on the ice can get you pretty far in the big leagues. You look at a player like Brad Marchand, who has that to his game, and I'm sure there are at least a couple of players in this league and on these teams who look to model their game in that fashion, as we've got a penalty coming here against the junior Canadians. So a power play chance for the Senators, and I'm sure they'd love to get just one back here to try and shift momentum going into a very important game 3. It's Chase Yanni going off, so he gets the hat trick and he gets the penalty in this game, as that puck is sent ahead and knocked down in the neutral zone. Fired off the boards there as the junior Canadians look to just kill off the rest of this game.
And now it's certainly been a far cry. And I mean, we talked about in the first 10 minutes, the Senators were outplaying the junior Canadians at 5-on-5. And now Toronto just made it very easy in terms of their transition defense, just stealing pucks and getting it back in. And obviously that score effect's taking into effect for the fact that the Senators are down this much, but just having trouble. Although they did just create a turnover there. Let's see what happens.
There's a shot from the point as Muszynski is turned aside, and so the junior Canadian lost his stick there on that play, and we'll get a whistle and a face-off. We're halfway through that man advantage already. Under 4.5 minutes to go, as now it appears a slash has been called, and it's against Caden Taylor, I believe, on the Senators here, and it's not Caden Taylor, as he's out on the ice.
It's Rafek Dianov who heads to the penalty box.
So 4-on-4 now, with 4:04 to go in this period. It is Breer Long off for 2 minutes here, as the Senators pick up the puck behind the net and get things started. A little bit of open ice to work with now as they try and get the power play. Or the junior Canadians will try to get their power play out there one more time. Remember, that is a power play that has been perfect so far in this game, and they're onto the attack here. Along the wing, drop back pass, and a quick shot scores. Xander Villeras has made it 8-2 Toronto, and that's another power play goal for these Toronto junior Canadians. They're 5 for 5.
Yeah, that beat the clock by just milliseconds potentially, but that will count as the 5th power play goal of the game for Toronto. And Villeras really just opened himself up there. We mentioned him earlier in this period in terms of him being a real shot threat and jumping up into the rush, and he capitalizes there and gets rewarded.
And we'll look now to see, will that be counted as a power play goal? And yes, it will, as they have allowed Breer Long to return. So it's an 8-2 lead for the Toronto Junior Canadiens. 5 goals with the man advantage. And you talk about discipline making all the difference in the playoffs. There's no clearer example than this.
I mean, you talk about 5 power play goals. If you erase that, it's a 3-2 game in this instance.
And so for the Senators, there's certainly a lesson to be taken from this game. You come off a thrilling comeback victory in overtime of Game 1, and all of a sudden to a blowout loss in Game 2. You know that discipline is going to be very important against this really talented Junior Canadiens team, and it's a lesson that if you can take that lesson to heart for the rest of this series, you're not even close to out of it after just 2 games. As you were saying earlier, Jordan, it is a long series here in these GTHL playoffs. There's plenty of hockey to be played.
And, you know, we're not in the opening round anymore. There's not going to be a bunch of sweeps. These are long series. We're seeing it with the Marlboro series as well as that series, although it is 2-0 in favor of
Marlies are currently down 2-0 in that series, but certainly has been a tight battle through those 2 games, and as you can imagine, they will want to extend that to make it a long series. We get into the final minute and a half of this hockey game. It's chipped out past Broussard, and Connors will pick it up at center. Whistle goes, and we'll see if we even get any more action in this game. We're in the final minute now. Clock ticking down.
But for the Senators, they are in a better position than obviously a team like the Marlies are in, who are going to have to scramble to come back in this series of their own. And
the face-off will come just outside that Senator zone, but it doesn't look like they're going to take it, and they will just let this play out. So it's a 8-2 victory for the Toronto Junior Canadiens over the Mississauga Senators here in Game 2 of Round 2 of these GTHL playoffs, and they equalize the series. Have Game 3 as both teams look to take the lead.
And this was a team effort by Toronto, capped off by a Chase Yanni hat trick. 2 power play goals to go with it. Hector Martel scored. Luca Romano scored. Ryan Ginmit. 2 defensemen in Xander Valeris and Luca Graziano. And Alexander Armelin made the stops when he needed to. Only allowed 2 goals against. Nobody was at fault in this game. Everybody did what they needed to do, and they really got the job done. We have a tied series.
And both teams will look to get the job done when we return for Game 3. Jaden Ho for Jordan Jacklin and everyone here at the 6 Hockey. We'll see you for the Game 3.